Welcome to T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. Music, comedy, and conversation featuring HB, the Honey Badger.
Honey Badger don't care.
Now, on with the show.
This is Radio Free Roanoke, and this is episode 163, HB, T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. Hop on the bus, Gus. We're here with Cinémathèque Band on their activity bus. Fellas, thanks for having us here. You got a show tonight.
Right, welcome. Glad to have you. We have a show tonight at Parkway.
Yes, you do. Parkway
Cool.
Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, you play a lot of local places, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like, where are some places you've been? I've seen a lot of your videos, but tell us some of the places you've played here locally.
I mean, all the breweries, pretty much. Those are, you know,
Yeah, we
hot
got
spots.
like Eastern Divide, Parkway,
Twisted
Track is a good one.
Golden
Also there.
Cactus.
Golden Cactus.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Big
okay.
Lake. We've played Big Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Salem.
Old Salem.
And then a lot of the more like music-oriented venue
Yeah.
types. So the traditional types like Spot on Curve.
Mhm.
Wow.
I saw a wonderful
Martin's.
video. To me, it was like watching, the Last Waltz or something. But it was like you guys at the Taubman Museum last year.
Yeah, we
yeah.
That was very nice.
That was a fun gig. That
was a
lot
fun
of
gig.
Yeah, it's very well done. So I encourage people to watch that video. But you've got lots of videos on the web.
Yeah.
So before we go on any further, let's get this bus issue out of the way. It intrigues me. I'm curious about it. So, how in the world did you come across a bus? Did it just show up one day in your backyard or what?
Well, a buddy of mine got it in his head that he was going to buy a bus, gut it out, turn it into a living space, and he was going to live out of it. And he was going to park it in my driveway or whoever's driveway would have him. And I think he took 4 seats out and gave up. Because he realized how much work it was going to be.
Yeah.
He did all the research and he bought all the stuff to do it. But it was just so much work, he gave up. So it sat in his sister's driveway for a couple years, at which point Mighty Max over here was talking to me about how he wanted an RV. And I said, hey, my buddy's got a bus, and he's not doing anything with it. Maybe we could broker a deal. And that's how it happened. We went over there, and he bought it.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, magic. Like I've been young, 15 or so, and it was like a bucket list thing. Like, I'd love to drive a school bus. Just like, why not?
Yeah.
Old school bus. And then I'm talking to Ben, my friend's got a bus. And I'm like, wait, for real? So we look at it, it's dirty, it's been under trees for a while.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
They don't know if
Batteries are
the
dead.
engine's working.
Exactly, yeah.
It's got some arithmetic papers underneath the seat.
Old
That's right,
homework.
yeah.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. Lots of gum, chewed up gum under the...
The what?
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah.
That stuff, right? So...
Stays good. Yeah.
Yeah, bought it from him and drove it back to Ben's place, sat there for a bit, started the renovations shortly after.
You added a 8-track player, perhaps?
That's
should,
That's next.
man.
Yeah,
We
that's
should.
next.
But it has everything.
Yeah.
It's got all the amenities.
Couches, a
sleeping
kitchen,
quarters,
fridge,
yeah.
Plumbing.
A washer and dryer, plumbing,
running water.
a stove, yeah. Awesome. Refrigerator.
So when you're going to all these breweries to play, who drives?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mighty Max?
He
Mighty
got
Max.
his CDL to do it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
for commitment,
yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
4 weeks of classes so I could have a CDL.
Worth it. So that we could
Yes.
drive 18 minutes to Parkway.
Yeah.
But you show
We
up in
didn't take it to
style.
Asheville,
We
man.
didn't take it to Asheville.
I just
Now.
remembered that. We went to Asheville. We played there. Did not take the bus.
Yeah, it was in the shop. It was in the shop.
Oh, okay. But look, T-Bone, let's get to know these guys.
Yeah,
a little
let's
bit.
get to
Now,
know
there's, what, 9 of them total?
Yeah, well, there's only 4 of us here right now because
Okay.
we're getting prepped for the gig. But there's anywhere from like 9 to sometimes 11.
Yep.
11.
Okay.
Depending on the gig. So,
Oh.
Tell us who you are and what you play.
Yeah.
well, I'm Ben. I play guitar, and let's move this way.
I'm Max, Mighty Max. I play bass guitar.
Uh-huh.
I'm John. I play keys.
And then I'm Jonathan. I play trumpet and flugelhorn.
All right.
And Cinémathèque.
Yeah.
Cinémathèque. It's been around since 2011,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So that's a long shelf life for a band, I would say.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, there's been many iterations. I've lived in a lot of different cities. It's been a recording project, a live project. There's been a lot of people in it, and it's been fun. It's my main musical focus.
Now, how long have y'all been music, as far as each one of you have been playing music?
Just in general,
Yeah.
I've been playing music since I was a kid. So I'm 35. So
Okay.
25 years.
I picked
Max?
picked up like guitar music at like 15. started playing bass guitar at 16, and it stuck. I loved bass way more than guitar, piano, or the other ones.
It's way cooler than guitar.
It's kind
hands
of
down, hands down. I'll admit it. I'll admit it.
Okay. Move on.
I guess started around 13 or so, and I've been playing in bands. I've played with this guy in a couple bands.
Yeah, John and I go
before this.
way back. Way back.
But,
Okay.
yeah, been taking music wherever I can take it and enjoying it, you know.
And I started off with piano in elementary school, and then started doing trumpet in middle school. I'm the young one in the band, so I just graduated from Virginia Tech last year.
Oh, okay.
And anyways, but
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. One of the great things about this band, though, is all the different backgrounds we have musically.
It's wildly different, yeah.
So I was fortunate to go to a strong arts high school outside of Richmond, and I loved classical music at first. I had my headset on classical trumpet, and then one of my private instructors was a big jazz player, so I got into that. But anyways, that's my background, more of a jazz. I played in a lot of big bands.
Okay.
And that's what I was wanting to ask you. From
Yeah.
what I could pick up, you guys have different core music foundations, like rock, jazz,
Yep.
classical, Latin. Tell us a little bit about that, how that helps make a unique band and a unique sound that you have.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of it is obviously individually we're coming from different backgrounds, but a lot of it is the genre too. Like, so the name of the band is Cinémathèque. So basically, I've always had this affinity for film music. I love film music, and there's so many different genres within that umbrella of film music. And I've always, I like rock and roll and pop music, but something about film music has always spoke to me. So a lot of the big film music guys like Les Baxter, John Williams, they would incorporate so many different influences into their scores, and especially from movie to movie, you might need like something a little bit more jazz for this, or something more classical for this, or maybe like a little more contemporary for this. And so that's where a lot of the different sounds and different styles that you hear live come from.
Yeah.
This sort of film music aspect.
Your bio mentions spaghetti westerns, Italian and French
Yeah, exactly.
thrillers and horror
Yeah.
movies. I didn't even know those.
Crime
those
noirs. And all
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
So you get inspiration from stuff like that.
I love movie music. It's my favorite, hands down. Like I when I was a kid, I inherited a box of records, and it was like all my dad's old records. So you had your Journey and your Chicago, and I was into that. I like that. It's fine. CCR, But a lot of it was my grandma's old records, and it would be like soundtracks and musicals. And I remember being a kid and listening to Fiddler on the Roof and being blown away by it. Like that was sort of my first musical introduction. And if you listen to a lot of our music now, it's using a lot of the same scales and modes as Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I've watched so many of your videos, and I've seen you live. I was telling you at Kirk Fest 2019. I saw you live at Cinco de Mayo here this year. But the best way I describe it to other people is your music, to me, you kind of slip into like a hypnotic groove.
Yeah.
And then
right.
you're in that groove, and I'm in that groove with you, and then there's a big finish where the horns and the saxes come in, and you just boom! It's you just explode out of that groove,
Right,
and it's just a very unique sound.
Yeah.
Very unique sound. So, what attracts you to that? The other guys, what attracts you to this kind of music? Because I know you're all talented, and you can probably play in other bands, and you probably do. But what pulls you into Cinémathèque?
A big part of like live music for me is like how everything feels, right? Like, do I get along with my bandmates well, and do we all just jive and lock in and have a good time? So it feels really good. The music that we play, it keeps me coming back. We all get along, which is great,
always
yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. I've been in some bands where the hang wasn't as good,
Yeah.
The hang is the most important.
Yeah, the hang's
part, I
important
would
to me,
say,
yeah. So that's kind of what keeps me coming back.
Yeah, the hang can come through the music about
Yeah.
how the guy,
Yeah.
I would think. It's like a team.
Definitely.
Right, yeah,
What do you
exactly.
think?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think we have a really good chemistry in this band, and I mean, I guess touching on the background thing, I mean, a lot of us come from rock background, and we haven't really, you know, have the horns like we do in this band, and so having that consistently in a band, it's just like, it's just a treat, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of a novel thing. You don't hear that.
You don't hear it all the time.
And you know, we just have a variety of sounds and genres, and so it never gets old, really.
Yeah, I think the perspective of a horn player is interesting too, because there's a lot more guitar players than horn players who can adapt to different styles. And like for me, I started in 2019, and it was a big transition coming from all the like jazz big band keys, which are designed for horn players, so a lot of B flat, a lot of F, and then all of a sudden you're playing with guitars primarily.
Guitar keys, man. Yeah.
But it was a great challenge, and I think for me, like, I'm really attracted to, like, stylistically we have this niche where a lot of groups, you know, can do like a jazz trio thing, which is awesome, and your rock, classic rock groups and stuff. And I really like the appeal of like keeping with the niche and like, you know, offering that genre specifically. So,
Yeah.
well, and another element too, I'll just say briefly, is like a lot of our brewery shows, for example, are 3 hours long. And so
That's a lot of beer.
That's it's a lot of beer.
It's a
I was
lot
going
of
to say it's
beer.
a lot of music, but really it's a lot of beer.
You're with me, Ben.
and you mentioned T-Bone, like kind of like the vibe or like the trance thing, and a lot of that is because we have to play for 3 hours. And which means a lot of solos, which is always a lot of fun.
Well, that's something I wanted to bring up too, because in a band like this where you've got so many good players and so many different instruments, you can kind of improvise a little, have solos, right?
Yeah.
And you have to get that 3 hour, 3 and 4 hours of music. Yeah, definitely. But it's fun. You know?
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
And then World Rhythms, I saw that on your bio, that you incorporate a lot of stuff from music you would hear just from, like you say, any genre around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have like drum breaks and shows, and you know, it's entertaining. Like we're actually watching. We're like,
I have a good time watching
your own guys. Yeah.
A couple shows, you know, all of us, the ones, I guess, melodic musicians in the group, we'll actually step off the stage and just let the percussion guys go. Everyone takes a solo. It's pretty entertaining. It's fun.
And it keeps it fresh, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in a time where Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, and used to listen to tons of that stuff, and I always liked trumpet or stuff in rock music too. There was a band, Cake, that ended up had some real strong horn in it, and
their
you
trumpet
didn't.
player's very talented.
So I've always loved that. It was different, you know, and always I was a big fan of Cake. And
well, that was a big thing with me, is like growing up playing guitar. Like I felt like if you were a certain age when I grew up, you just got a guitar put in your hands. Everybody played guitar, and I love guitar, but I feel like it's very well represented in a lot of the popular music nowadays, and local music. So I always kind of wanted to de-emphasize guitar, and I was always interested in other instruments. Like for a long time, Cinémathèque had a lot of string players, and we tried that for a while, and that was really fun and novel. And people really responded to that because it was different, you know. I love guitar music, but there's enough of that out there. I don't need to put myself out there as a guitar player as much because it's so well represented. So, we had string players, and, you know, I started playing with horns at an early age in college, and I was just so much more interested in those instruments than guitar.
maybe saxophone. Y'all got a sax player in
Barry sax, tenor, sometimes alto.
Oh man.
Oh, they've got it all, honey baby.
They do, yeah.
Totally.
Is there any comp band, out there in mainstream that we could say, well, hey, Cinémathèque's kind of
like
them,
this, yeah.
Is there, or are you
There's a few niche bands out there. Nobody huge or anything. I would say like some of the guys on Daptone Records. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
I've heard of Daptone, but I don't.
I guess
know
like
them.
the most famous thing they did was they did a Amy Winehouse record, but they're kind of like a soul and R&B kind of thing. But they get out there and they do like a little bit of Ethio jazz and like a lot of horn sections. So they would be probably like the biggest in that genre.
Okay.
Now, if you had a chance, you're obviously music lovers. Who would you go see if you had a chance? Each of you, who would you go see?
Oh, that's good.
Mulatu Astake.
All right, tell us. Give me a thumbnail sketch on me.
So he's from the early '70s. He's a Ethio jazz guy, and he took a lot of elements of folk music from that area, and incorporated modern elements of funk and jazz. And that he's a big influence on the band.
Okay. So he's still
playing.
Still
yeah,
going.
Still
Okay.
playing,
So you would go see him
yeah. He plays like a lot of art openings and stuff. So.
in America?
In Europe. So I'd have to travel to Europe. That'd be an expensive
Well, you got a
plane
bus.
ticket.
You got a bus.
We'll take the bus to Europe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It'll flip.
Yeah.
It'll flip.
All right. What about you, Mighty Max?
So me, I'm actually perhaps a departure for the rest of the band. I listen to a lot of actually EDM music. So that might be like Excision or Closey or LS Dream. So I think if I was going to go see anybody live, like just buy a ticket and go, it would probably be Closey right now. She's just got really cool, like down-tempo vibes. It's, a lot of EDM's very bass heavy, and it's cool. They use a lot of heavy rhythms and different tones to the bass to kind of add to the music and whatever else they're doing on the higher end, melodies and such like that. So if I was to buy a ticket, that's who I would go see. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
I mean, I guess we all like listen to all sorts of things. Like I think for a long time, like I would say, Flaming Lips would be the band that I would want to go see.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And I did see them, and I would still go and see them.
When did you see them?
Yeah. When did you go
Raleigh.
see them?
It was
I didn't hear about
back in
that.
like
Yeah.
2018 or something like that, maybe 19. But yeah, no, I would definitely go do it again. I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
They're famously a fun live band.
Yes.
They go all.
Yeah, I mean,
out.
they do the whole like, Wayne will be riding in on like some
like a
horse.
big hamster wheel sometimes. So like you ride it out into the audience and
Crazy shit. Yeah, it's a good time.
Am I allowed to go back in time?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say alive or dead, whoever, if you'd like to.
How
see
far
it.
back you going, Jonathan?
Not too far back. I'm going to keep with the trumpet world. So one of the trumpet players who did a lot of spaghetti westerns, and he was also famous for doing the Godfather trumpet solo, the theme song. His name was Jimmy Maxwell, and my first trumpet teacher exposed me to. It's just interesting to see how all these different paths, like which at first weren't connected, came together. Like my trumpet teacher. Private in high school, he exposed me to all these trumpet players who come to turn out a couple years later were really fundamental for like the styles that Ben was mentioning. So Jimmy Maxwell on trumpet, that's who I'd see. And then now today, my favorite live trumpet player is Wayne Bergeron. So he did all the Incredibles, all those trumpet parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a big studio musician in LA too, and just really pure, crazy, clear tone. So, keeping with the trumpet world.
What about Maynard Ferguson?
Oh yeah, you can't. He's just this like character. Had a big band, and he passed away in I think 2006. But I would definitely want to see him too.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Is that?
You ever heard of him?
Yeah, I'm
kind of a deep
No shame.
unfortunately too young to be able to have met him. But oh yeah, I mean absolutely.
It's kind of a no-brainer on
Yeah.
the trumpet.
Yeah.
It's funny you said Godfather. I was listening to that soundtrack last night.
Oh, cool.
There's that trumpet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to what I will call the big finish, what do you guys see as your future? I mean, beyond Parkway tonight.
Well,
You ever think about that?
hopefully recordings.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get out there with some recordings. We've been recording sort of sporadically for the last few years, and I've been recording in this group for the last 10 years plus. So we hope to get those recordings out. And we've got some stuff that is imminently coming out.
Okay.
So, John, what's the date on the new single?
June 16th.
June 16th.
not
We will
far.
have a
Not
brand new
far.
single out
All right.
with a vinyl release to follow. So
Really? Yeah.
we're in talks with a record label right now. So
Okay.
hopefully that works out.
Do you know the name of the single?
Yes, it's called Kiob. And it,
Yes.
Yeah. It's a song I wrote probably 10 years ago. And so we retreated it recently for the band, and we've been doing it the last couple of years.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I saw that on the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
Nice.
All right. All right. I'm gonna finish up my questions, and then I'll give you guys the last shot. But and then I'll let HB have a shot at you. But my last question: if you had to recommend a food or a movie, give each of you give me one, a food or a movie that you'd recommend. Because
It's got to be a food or a movie.
or a movie.
Okay.
Or you could have a food while you're watching a movie.
Ooh, can I do that?
Yeah.
All right.
Combo platter.
Somebody go before me. I got to think about that.
Oh, yeah, I got to think
Okay.
too.
All right.
Anything?
Okay, I'll go first. I would say this is going to be a random one right off the bat. Children of Men with tapas.
Why tapas? That's a great movie. Clive Owen's great.
I love tapas. I love
Yeah.
Spanish cuisine. I love Iberian ham. One of my favorite food. I don't like paella, strangely, but I love tapas. So tapas with Children of Men is a pretty intense movie, but
I haven't
It is.
seen it. I gotta check it
It's
out.
dark.
it's a great,
Yeah.
definitely relevant for our times too.
Oh,
But
okay.
it goes down good with tapas. Yeah. All right.
I haven't done that. I'll have to try it. Let you know.
All right.
All right.
Wait, I got it. I'm gonna do Blue Velvet by David Lynch
Yeah.
with a microwave dinner. I'll tell you why.
Salisbury steak.
Yeah, exactly. Because that movie's all about sort of harkening back to the 1950s. So that microwave dinner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would go perfect with that. Plus, Dennis Hopper's the man. Dude, he's incredible in that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so is this like a date? Like
A date with yourself.
A personal date? Okay.
A date with yourself.
Solo.
Light your candle for you. Put,
All right, so I'm gonna go the messed up route and say
Oh no.
Bad Boy Bubby.
Jesus, man.
But for food,
Nobody likes that movie.
for food, I'm gonna go with something that you might not have tried, and that's taking your banh mi
Ooh.
and dipping it in the pho.
Yes, that's a
Talking Vietnamese food. So,
That's
Okay.
Ivan's move when
Yeah.
he eats.
It's good,
That's who we
man.
bought the bus from, Ivan. Yeah.
yeah.
ah,
And make sure with that banh mi you get the cilantro.
Yes.
You get. I mean, it's not the same without it, you know. So
You got to have it with the pate. You can't get it without pate.
Yeah.
Got to.
wow.
So.
That's an
I
interesting.
could
yeah,
eat.
all right.
Yeah.
Now the movie will probably have you feeling pretty weird.
Nauseous.
No, I was gonna say
That's a
queasy.
dark movie,
maybe,
man.
yeah.
All right, Max.
But I'm going like comedies. One that I watched, it was years ago with a good friend of mine. He lived many states away. It was Central Intelligence. Not like an amazing movie, but a good like sit back, laugh,
A good flick.
Yeah, a good flick.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go with coffee pot hot dogs.
All right.
It's classic. It's cheap.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with it.
That's
Coffee pot
strong,
hot dogs.
Max. Strong.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, on a
I
budget.
like that.
On a budget.
Now, let me ask this, just because we're on the food thing.
Sure.
I kind of, as far as a restaurant in Roanoke, you
Ooh.
mentioned Vietnamese. What's
Yeah.
the
Viet
restaurant?
sub.
Viet sub.
Viet sub? Oh
Every-
yeah,
everybody.
yeah. I've been there.
Yeah,
many
everyone
times.
in the band kind
We
of.
all-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I eat there probably about 5 times a week, and he has actually shown up and just had lunch with me unexpected because he sees my truck out there.
Yes.
And he goes, all right, Ben's over there.
Awesome. All right.
I got it last night too. So
It's
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, HB, I'll let you have your last shot, and then we'll let them close it down.
Oh gosh.
Anything else?
I just I can't wait to meet the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
You know, and as far as music, movies and stuff like the James Bond movies.
Absolutely.
Isn't that some great?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's,
I thought that would be up y'all's alley.
Yeah. The composer for all those movies, top tier.
yeah.
Okay.
Top tier. John Barry.
Because I
Incredible.
still remember some of that
Yeah.
music. You know, just
That James Bond
all
guitar
through,
chord,
too. Yeah.
It's amazing. John
Yeah.
Barry is a true genius.
Okay.
He's one of my favorites.
cool.
So, yeah.
Well done. All right, then we're going to shut the barn door, but you guys have the last word. Did we forget anything? Anything else you want
Something
to
you want to mention?
Just come see us this summer.
Yeah.
We're playing
Yeah,
a
we
lot of
got,
shows. Look out for recordings.
We got some shows. Got
Drop
like,
them quick, yeah.
Yeah, so we got all the brewery things coming up, like Eastern Divide and Twisted Track. But we also, our music is taking us some interesting places.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
doing a Renaissance fair.
In Charlottesville.
That's the one I'm most excited about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Easily.
so cool.
Yeah.
Bay Festival. So we're doing that. We're doing
dressing up
Stepping
for that.
Out.
Mhm.
We're doing a Levitt the Levitt Amp Music Series in Harrisonburg.
Oh, okay.
And we're working on a couple other festivals that should be confirmed very soon.
Yeah.
All on our website.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just go to the
Okay.
website.
Yeah.
And
Cinémathèque
check out
Music.
Cinémathèque.
Cinémathèque.com.
Cinémathèque
Music.
Music.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Very nice. All right. Hey, Max, start the bus. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, right
Thanks,
on.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
y'all.
Go get 'em.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
love it.